Hey guys, Colleen Gallagher here with episode 68 of the Colleen Gallagher podcast. I am so excited. I'm so thrilled. I'm super fired up. I know it's been like 2 weeks and that never really happens when I haven't launched a podcast, but I went through before I get into why this happened, I want to just say welcome to the community. If this is the first time that you're tuning in, super excited you're choosing to tune in to receive the frequency. My intention with this episode or just this podcast, this community that I really call it, is to really be a space where you can tune in to receive a frequency that's going to expand your mind from a spiritual sense, from a health standpoint, from a physical standpoint, from a mental standpoint, like really holistically, so that you can be guided, you can be inspired, you can be called, you can be led to live your life as a lifestyle career holistically, like being true to who you are, creating businesses out of your passions, being able to actually wake up every day and be so madly in love with what you do. And that's something that I've been able to do for the past 3.5 years. I feel so honored about it. I feel so grateful. It makes me just so ecstatic and so happy to really be able to do this. Like it's such an honor to just be on and whip my mic up and reply to messages and do my journaling and create new online educational experiences. And it just means the world to me. So when you listen to this, make sure to share it with friends. Please leave a review. So anyway, this message today is going to be around digital marketing, because I've been getting so many questions around digital marketing, how I've built my brand on so many platforms. I mean, I'm on over 17 platforms easily, probably more, considering all the distribution for this podcast and the distribution for my books. So yeah, it's probably more than that. But I just wanted to start there today with digital marketing, like how I've been able to like grow this brand, how I've been able to think about it, how I've been able to grow a business in such a short amount of time to, multiple six figures and impact thousands and thousands of people a day. I mean, all of my social media, I have thousands of people reading it, not including my books, not including my Oracle deck that's out there. I mean, there's just so many ways that I've created that every single moment in the world, someone could really be being impacted by what I've shared, from a video to a physical product to a book, all the things to the podcast. So anyway, I wanted to share some of my knowledge on digital marketing. I'm going to get into why I felt called and led to do it today at 9:49 a.m. on September 1st. But before I get into that, I want to support this episode sponsors, which is DP Journey. And today's episode is brought to you by DB. DB is a Scandinavian brand that makes backpacks and bags to help people on the move stay ready for anything, from the streets to the peaks. DB's gear is to travel tested by some of the world's best athletes, adventurers, and creators. Over the past decade, DB has designed and developed, released, and refined the best bags in the market. With DB's patented hookup system, you are able to attach smaller products to your backpack, roller, or tote. And so this is super important to have when you are traveling and you need an extra piece of luggage, or if you're someone who's a creator, you're an adventurer. And we are teaming up with DB to exclusively offer our listeners 10% off your next purchase by using the code P as in Pam, O as in Oscar, D as in dog, 10, or going to the link in our show notes. DB, it's time to move on, time to get going. And so with that, woohoo! Okay, so I'll go back into what I was going to share. I've not done an episode in 2 weeks, which I know for many of you who are avid Colleen Gallagher podcast listeners, you're like, what is happening with this girl? Is she out somewhere? So I wanted to share a little bit about what happened, what's going on, and then I'll jump into the content. So for those of you who know, some of you may know, I've been mentoring. One of my mentors is Katrina Ruth. If you listen to episode, I think it was 66, and she just crossed making $20 million cash sales in her online business, which was exciting. But I've been really learning from her deeply about sales, about selling, offering, sharing from your heart, and just always creating a business around it. And there's another really fascinating woman I listened to named Melanie Ann Layer, who just crossed 25 million cash. She's had her first $1 million day in sales from the coaching industry, which I thought was just incredible. And so anyway, what I really wanted to share, what I really wanted to go into, is I did a whole day with Katrina Ruth about 2 weeks ago. And it was like this whole day where you go really deep in your brand and you go really deep in what is it you want to offer and who you want to be, because I really believe you are the brand. And when you live your life as you are the brand, you will always be able to sell anything for the rest of your life as you evolve into motherhood, as you evolve into a grandmother, as you evolve into all the different passions that will be activated out of the truth of who you are in this lifetime. And so I had some really, really potent revelations from that. And some of them was, obviously, if you haven't seen my website, you can now work one-on-one with me, apply without being in any of my programs, which is exciting. I'd never have that. It's called the Magic and Miracles Co-Created Experiential Curriculum. So we really work together to really bring you like my academic, like structured curriculum, as well as my, flow state, my fairy tale life, my creative nature. Like we do that. So let me breathe. So I'm super excited because after that happened, it's been about 2 weeks. Hold on, I'm gonna have water. It's been about 2 weeks. And during that 2 weeks, I've really had a lot of time to reflect inward, like really thinking about what it is I want. As some of you know, I launched a brand new product, a brand new creation. I'm like, oh my God, it's here. It's so exciting. And it's happening. But what I wanted to share, what I wanted to go into is that digital marketing is such a passion of mine. I went out to a what's it called, networking event last night. I have not been to a networking event pre the whole issue of the whole world going on in 2019, 2020. And so I got to this Girl Boss or Girl Talks networking event. It was at this gorgeous house in Venice. I mean, oh my God, the pool was incredible. The whole decoration of the interior was amazing. I mean, it was just the next level amazing. Like I was so grateful to like be able to just be in a home, because I live in a 2-bedroom apartment and it's kind of like inspiring more and more to like head to the homeland. But I just loved it. And so one thing that came up a lot, and a lot of women, like my conversation evolved around a lot, was digital marketing. Because people would say, what is it that you do? And I say, I own an online education company. And then I tell them like, I have all these courses, I have these products, these books, like I do all these things. And long story short, I realized how much I love digital marketing. I love talking about social media. I love talking about the internet. I believe that social media is such a tool of connectivity. I believe that social media is like the new e-commerce. Like we now don't just go to stores. Like we don't just go to Neiman Marcus, or we don't just go to whatever. Like we go to digital worlds to shop or to see where we're going to go to get our things. Like, is it in stock? Is this going to have it? What's cheaper? Like we do all this stuff digitally before we get in our car and go and do something. Where before, you'd get in your car and you'd go to the things and hope that it all work out. If not, you'd figure out the next best solution. Well, that's like really changed. And social media is such a beautiful platform because there's so many beautiful products. I found fashion designers that have inspired me, tech people, beauty people, whatever that is. Like there's so many things that I've found that it just lights my soul up. It lights my heart up. But I realize it's because the new storefront, it's like if you're walking down a street on the street you live on, or anywhere like the grocery store is, or these little shops are, social media is the new storefront. It is where you go to show, hey, my coffee shop is open from 8 to 9 a.m. Here's my coffee deals. Here's my things. You would never expect yourself to be going to the coffee shop down the street, actually in the brick and mortar, like, oh, we're out of coffee today. We're not selling coffee today. You'd be like, what? Your social media every day, you should be using it as a tool of connectivity every day. But you don't have to repost something new, but every day you should be on there connecting, sharing, offering, like, especially when you're starting, it's your new storefront. Like you just opened a store of connection. You want to put positivity into people's lives. Then this is what you should be doing. Like you wouldn't just open a coffee shop or want to like send positivity. Even if you had like a positivity pop-up shop, you would plan for it. Like you'd plan the colors, you'd plan the sticky notes, you'd have marketing. Your face, your thoughts that are inside your mind that you want to get out need to be shared on some platform. And there is literally hundreds of thousands of platforms. It may not even be a mainstream platform like Instagram or Facebook or TikTok. There's so many. There's Medium, there's Podgo. I just had another podcasting platform reach out to me today. There's Podfest. Like there's so many platforms, it's not even funny anymore. So you don't even have to use the mainstream social media to even have a storefront. You can still have a successful storefront off of a mainstream social media. And I have many, many clients, trust me, that are making a few right now that are making a few $100,000 months. I do have clients that are making more money than me because they pay me for the spiritual side, the energetic side, the principles, which I really enjoy working with people if they make more money than me. I mean, think about it. If you go to a doctor, right, there's many people that will go to a surgeon or a doctor and they make more money than the surgeon or doctor. Doesn't mean you're not going to go. So I had that limiting belief for a long time that people who made more money, than me wouldn't pay me, which is just silly. So I got rid of that. And now I have a lot of clients who make a lot more money than me. And they actually are just paying me for the energetic work because that's what I'm brilliant at. And that's what I share, and feeling safe to be themselves and how to communicate what it is they want to communicate instead of hiding behind different organizations or brands. Because the true thing we all want in this world is to feel fully self-expressed. We all want to feel that we can feel safe to share what's on our heart, to share our truth, to share why we're here, and know that we will still be accepted. We are still worthy and deserving. And the only people who give you this bullshit of like, oh, I'm a private person, I like being private. No, it's not that you're private. It's that you are literally afraid to share what's going on because you know that people may reject you. You know that something inside of you of what you're doing in your life is not congruent, is not in integrity, is not in righteousness of what you really want to connect with. Like, there's no reason. Obviously, you're not going to go around and tell everyone every deepest secret about you. I'm not saying that. But if you're in an authentic conversation with one human being to another human being, and in this organic, raw, true conversation, you're connecting over something and you're saying that I'm not going to tell you something because I'm private, there is a fundamentally flawed trauma, unhealed wound in you that is a response, because before you would have shared something and you were rejected, you were unseen, you were unheard. So it was deep. But anyway, I was like, let me breathe about that for a second because let that land. Okay. So the next part in this that I want to go into, digital marketing. That think of your digital, whatever platform, it's like your storefront. You want to go and share what you want to share. You want to go and share what you want to share. I have multiple storefronts. I have multiple, and each platform that I use has different ways. Like, I have a few clients right now who never even heard a podcast. So they would never find me on this platform, but they found me through social media. On Facebook, I have some people that find me on LinkedIn that would never find me on Instagram. Like, I literally have and I have people that find me now on blogs, on articles that I'm writing for that would never find me anywhere else. Like, but I've made my storefront very diverse, very inclusive, because that's how I am. I thought of how I've gotten information in my life, and I didn't just get information from social media. I've gotten it from a diverse range of things. But what I realized, which is kind of my live video I did yesterday on YouTube and Facebook, is the power of networking. And that's why when I went to this event last night and did networking, I was talking about digital social media. Like, it would be so sad if I went to this event last night and then the only way that these people could keep in contact with me is by texting or phone. That would be so sad. Like, what? You have these incredible conversations, these incredible people, and they can only come to you through the phone. No, I want them to be updated on all the things and all the value and everything I'm sharing. Like, I want them to know my coffee shop is abundant and I'm sharing, and that they can be inspired to finally take the action. And sure, any of them feel called to go into a program or a course that I offer, that would be awesome. But it doesn't mean that I'm attached to it. It doesn't mean that I care about it. Like, my job is to be there as the coffee shop, offering the coffee and giving them this place to come to the coffee shop, which is a digital storefront. It's almost like if I opened a brand new coffee shop and they didn't come, like, I didn't even say I owned a coffee shop. Like, it's just so bizarre to me. Like, social media is this beautiful tool where you get to media and share yourself. You don't have to hire a PR firm. I do have a PR firm, but you don't have to hire one. You can literally be your own media. You can share what you need to share. And if you're not sharing the things you know that the universe gave you life force for, you are being selfish. I know that's really hard to swallow, but I even had last night where there was someone who was sharing all these kind of beliefs they had around, like, oh, what were your parents like? Oh, like, what was this like? Well, how have you done it? And I was like, well, I invested a lot of money in mentors. And I did this, and that's what really made a difference in my life. And so people have these stories of like, oh, well, you must have these parents, or you must have had this, or you must have had this, or you must have did this. But that's not true. Like, my parents knew nothing about what I'm doing. My parents, well, my mom knows what I do now, but like my parents don't get anything of what I do. Like I remember I was making money in my line on online, and my dad was like, wait, you don't even know this person. How is this person paying you? Like he had no idea how it worked, like how someone across the world could pay me within a matter of seconds. Like he thought that was the most bizarre thing that could happen. And it probably was from the way he grew up. Like that's not something normal. Like that's very normal for me to think that I could meet anyone and they could pay me within moments from across the world. And that's a mindset, but I kept choosing and deciding that mindset. It's a moment by moment choice. I didn't just decide at one time. I decided again and again and again and again. And that's the power of digital marketing, point blank, period. And you don't have to have a strategy for digital marketing. You don't have to have a strategy to start. Like if you know you have coffee, if you know, I don't care who you are in this world, you know you have something incredible to share. You know you have incredible wisdom. You know you have incredible knowledge. I know if you're here, you know that. You know you have something incredible to share. You know it. And yes, you've been hurt. Yes, you've been screwed over. But the thing is that you really want to begin to shift it so that you are actually living in alignment with the truth of who you're meant to be. And so all you need to do, your marketing strategy, your digital marketing, is literally just showing up and sharing. And I have a whole course on Create, Write, Share, Receive. It's a 4-module course. It's incredible. It's on my website. I highly recommend it. If you want to just start sharing, like all you have to do, there is nothing in the way of you going on any platform and either writing or talking. There's nothing in your way but you in your head. Nothing. There's no one stopping you. There's no one holding a gun to your head. There's nothing. There's zero. There will be more people that show up than people that reject you. There will be. Just as you have a coffee shop, there's going to be more people that show up to the coffee shop, but sure, the competitor down the street is going to be pissed. Who cares about the competitor down the street? You have motherfucking coffee to offer, and you want to offer it and you want to share it because that's what you want to do. And this is why I'm so good at digital marketing, because I don't tolerate any other thoughts. I don't allow myself to not post, to not share, to not do the things. I don't allow it. And it has to be that intense, that crucial, that like intimate, that's like the lay of the law. And so, yeah, digital marketing, you don't need to know hashtags. You don't need to know the perfect handle. You can change it anyway. You don't need to know all this shit. You don't have to have brand colors, like whatever. Like, sure, that will come. But you are here for a specific reason because God's sourced universe gave you that reason. It gave you it. It aligned you to it. It guided you here. And if that is the truth, which I know it is, if you're sitting here, you need to get out of the negative and into the positive by sharing. If you want the magic of money, if you want the liberation of money, if you want the freedom lifestyle, if you want to be working a few hours and then like all this money is just showing up, this is what's required to get out of your own motherfucking way. And I know I'm saying it like, you know, kind of harshly, but it's what needed to be said, because after I went to this event last night, which I loved and I was so grateful for, so many people are stopping themselves or making up stories about social media that it has to be like this. It needs to be like this. It needs to be neat. It needs to be like that. It doesn't. People want your raw organic energy. I would rather see your raw organic energy one time a week that's solid, that's super amazing, than you feeling forced like that's labor, a slave labor, to post every single day. I think you should post every single day, but if that's not what you feel called or led to do, but if it's something that excites you, you should feel called and led to do it. If you just open the coffee shop, you should be so excited to talk about the freaking coffee shop. Otherwise, you're still being a slave to money and doing something just to get the money. I'm trying to think of anything else. There was a lot of links there. Okay, so digital marketing. Step 1 is just share, organically share. Step 2, organically connect. Like I literally read every comment, every DM, every message I go and respond to. I go and listen to. I go and like take time. Obviously, if it's like a spam, I don't, but everything else, like if it's a real genuine person, I take the time to respond. I take the time to connect. And 3, it's your digital storefront. It's your responsibility to get out there and share what you need to share because you know you need to share. That's it. So I think that's it. Digital marketing. Let it be simple. Let it be easy. Let it be with grace. Know that digital marketing is like a storefront, brick and mortar. Choose one platform to start with. Simply share what feels good, what feels aligned. It doesn't need to be perfect. People want your raw, true, organic energy. The more you think about it, the more you plan it, the more energy that you're losing of the authenticity of what it's meant to be. And then the other thing I wanted to share around it, and I think it's just important, is like there's just no rules. You are the real creator. You are the one that's making the rules. Like there's just no rules. There's nothing to do. There's nothing to force. That's it. So, I love you. I also have a 3-module series social media course, which I'm so excited about. And it was on my old Facebook. We just got it back. And the 3 modules go into like organic growth on social media, creating offerings, because that's super important, and creating content. I do those 3 and how to use these 3 tools into really building a social media brand that's going to generate you income and impact. So I love you. Let me know what comes up. Reach out to me on social media. I now have the Colleen Gallagher on everything, Instagram and Facebook. But anyway, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So anyway, yeah, just reach out, message me. If you loved this, let me know, share it with a friend, leave a review, and get inside the social media course. It's not that complicated. The way that you're going to change your life is by you getting around mentors, you getting around people who have carried the wisdom of where you want to be. And age doesn't matter. The money doesn't matter. The money they make doesn't matter. If you see someone and they have the wisdom, they have the vibe, they have the experience that you want to have, you need to motherfucking go for it. So I love you so much. I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll talk soon.